Hi, and welcome to Book Chat with Julie. Welcome to another episode of Book Chat. I'm Julie with the Argenta Branch Library, and we're part of the Lehman Library System in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Before I get started with my to-be-read pile books and reads, I just want to take a minute, and no matter how you're watching this, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it through our Facebook page, the Lehman Library Facebook page, or even on the website, make sure that you like, comment, share it with somebody else, and subscribe, ring the bell, whatever your device is letting you do. Make sure that you let us know. We'll also be on Instagram, and this month, if you're watching me on either the Facebook page or on YouTube, make sure you go down and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Tell me what state you're watching from. I know there's multiple states of different people that I know tend to watch book chats. So just comment. Let me know. And also, what's on your to-be-read pile? We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but write some book titles that you'd like to maybe have on your to-be-read pile, or you'd like for me to look up and maybe research for another book chat. So thanks again for watching another episode of Book Chat with Julie. So this month, I just have a few that I'm going to talk about, and these have been on my to-be-read pile. In the summer, as we all know, that I love the pool and the deck and my summer beachy reads. I've been through all of those, and these are some books that I sometimes on my to-be-read pile, they'll get moved. They'll get moved to the bottom because something else will come in, and then I move them back to the top, and then I read them, or then, I start them, and then I get something else, and so my to-be-read pile gets moved around quite a bit. But some of these that I'm going to show you today, finally, we're getting to them. So, one of my very favorite authors, is Kristin Harmel. And this is her new book that just came out at the end of the summer, and I was so excited. And it's The Forest of Vanishing Stars. And if you've ever watched an author or watched Kristin Harmel, I would love for her just to be sitting right here, because she would be going, yes, that's great. And I just love to watch her talk. But The Forest of Vanishing Stars is a World War II historical fiction, and it is set in the wilderness of Eastern Europe. It talks a lot about some places that maybe if you are a historical fiction reader or World War II reader, it's set in a place that maybe we haven't heard so much about, and so that always makes it interesting. And again, with most of the books, I'm not going to tell a whole lot, because sometimes if I go into too detail, it really gives away the story. But the quote that I have written and highlighted, as actually I have two out of this Forest of Vanishing Stars, is that in moments like this, it doesn't matter what you were born to be, it matters what you choose to become. And I thought that was a really great, and I've got that highlighted. I've even got it written in my other calendar journal, because that is very true. Another quote from The Forest of Vanishing Stars is, humans had a responsibility to do more than just protect themselves. In the face of evil, they were compelled to save each other, and it was the only way mankind could survive. That is a quote true today and true back then as well. A book that I actually have had on my to-be-read pile for a while, and I will tell you, this one I have not read just yet. It is top up on the top of my list, and I've heard so many things about it, and everybody says, have you read it? Have you read it? Have you read it? And I'm like, I keep moving it to the top. So it's next, as soon as I finish the one that I'm working on right now. And it is The Silent Patient by Alex Mechel. And The Silent Patient is a shocking psychological thriller of a woman's act of violence against her husband, and of the therapist obsessed with uncovering her motive. And I know that the quote that they had in the review, and so I'll be anxious to read it and find out where the quote fits in the book. And it says, remember, love that doesn't include honesty doesn't deserve to be called love. So I thought that'll be interesting, and I'll be anxious to see where that quote is in the story. And that's The Silent Patient by Alex Mechel. Again, the theme of the whole book chat is the to be read pile. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I actually ordered this when it first came out because I thought, well, it sounds interesting. It's not really the type of kind of a fantasy, dual timeline, time travel type book that I tend to gravitate towards. And everybody that has come into the library or that I've talked to said, oh, I checked out The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I don't think I'm going to like it. And then they come back and they say, oh my goodness, you've got to read it. It doesn't start out the way that, if you're not familiar with that type of a story, they always say, stick with it. Okay, so I did. I listened to it on audio and I read it, and it is going to be in my top 10 favorite books of this year. It is not anything that you would expect. And Addie LaRue, it begins in France in 1714. That's not a time period that I typically read, so that's where it kind of was like, what? I can't think of that time period. But in a moment of desperation, a young woman makes a bargain to live forever, and she is cursed to be forgotten by everyone she meets. Thus begins the extraordinary life of Addie LaRue, and a dazzling adventure that will play out across centuries and continents, across history and art, as a young woman learns how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. But everything changes when after nearly 300 years, Addie stumbles across a young man in a hidden bookstore, and he remembers her name. And the quote that pulls out from that book is, what she needs are stories. Stories are a way to preserve oneself, to be remembered, and to forget. Stories come in so many forms, in charcoal, in song, in paintings, poems, films, and books. Books are a way to live 1,000 lives, or to find strength in a very long life. So that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I hope you'll give it a try. If you've read it, please comment below and let me know what you thought about Addie LaRue. And there's some deep thoughts, and it will be a story that you will not forget. So as I've done the past couple months, I have a author friend, who I've enjoyed getting to know, especially during the pandemic, and being part of her, she calls it the book bunch, and it's been my honor to be a part of her book bunch, which also means that I get advanced copies, and I get to read them, and then I get to review them, and I get to share them with the reviews with her, and I get to share the book with you. So as you're watching this, it's almost another publication day for my friend Amy Clipston. Now, I have introduced Amy Clipston many other book chats in the past, and she writes a lot of Amish Christian fiction books, but she did a crossover, and I've done some crossover books for many authors during these book chats. Lita Scottolini, Kristin Harmel, just different authors will go out of their norm of their genre and write something different. Well, Amy Clipston has The Heart of Splendid Lake, and the publication date is September 14th. So by the time you're watching this, go and pre-order it. Remember, pre-orders help with the author sales. And this is The Heart of Splendid Lake, and it is a contemporary romance. It has nothing to do with the Amish. It's not set in an Amish country. And you will be transported to the charming lakeside town. Brianna, the youngest of 3 sisters, is the only one who chose to stay in the small town of Splendid Lake, North Carolina. Brianna struggles to keep her father's business going, and she meets Scott Gibson. Will they find love? Will she stay in Splendid Lake? And you will have to read The Heart of Splendid Lake by Amy Clipston, and it comes out September 14th, and congratulations on another pub day, Amy. So happy to promote your books. So we are winding down our summer for some of you. And here in Arkansas, it's still almost 100 degrees. So I do have my fall things starting to filter out in the house, but it's still hot outside. So what are you reading? Again, let me know what you read. What books have I recommended that you've read, and did you like them? Did you not like them? It's okay if you didn't like them. It's okay. Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on some of these books or some of the past books. So, and I will look forward to seeing you in October. We're going to look at some, I don't read a lot of spooky horror type books, especially in October. But I do have some thrillers that we're going to look at. I know I've talked about thrillers a lot, but I've got some new thrillers that have just come out or will be coming out even as I record the October book chat. So I hope you have an enjoyable fall. Enjoy some roasted marshmallows. College football. College football is back. And you know that's a big thing in our house is college football. And we had a win on Saturday, and that's a great thing. So hopefully that sets a good season. So again, thank you for joining me for another book chat with Julie, and I will see you in October.